That's why I'm recording it. But I'm also signaling to you, box 3 is going to require change of aesthetics. And we cannot be creative when we just, sometimes I see things, I just keep quiet. People can judge you by how you dress. There's a statement that you should not judge a book by. Unfortunately, people every day judge books by. Yes. So I want you now to be intentional how you dress up in the morning, because it's where the office you sit in. They clean up around your home. It really makes a lot of sense, right? So I have forced persuade people when we have visitors. So I started with visitors, but now I'm telling them, you need to maintain that. Wear a white shirt. Put on a tie. If you're unable to get a suit or jacket, just put a tie, a white shirt, and whatever other trousers you need to put on. But welcome someone from the airport with a stretched hand in a tie. This man is professional, right? But what have you done? It's just dressing and handshake. There you have acted differently from a traditional government official who really doesn't ever show up, first of all. Or when they show up, they have not thought through. Do they have business card? Do they have a brochure? But they are receiving someone who is going to invest $100 million in a sector. What impression do you think that person has? And then you get them in the car, so they get in the traffic. They see the borders, all the sides. In their mind, they have already seen that you are disorganized at the airport. But your roads are disorganized. Your driving habits are disorganized. The hotel, so they judge you by the cover. But is that how you are? You are more than that. We know we are more than that. We can change. We can adjust if we want to create the impression that this is the most happening business and these people are serious. And if I give them work, so I don't know how you keep a deadline if you're not able to understand those basics. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Is this making sense to someone? Perspective is creativity. I like people who have a wider lens when they see things, then they can narrow down to small, right? It means that they have perspective of things. Creativity can also be blocked by, they will judge my creation. They will judge, you know what? But remember what Salvador Dali said, that out of confusion then there is freedom. Don't fear judgment, do what needs to be done. Creativity is to build capacity, to have space to be and to do. This for me is like a bit of a summary of so many words that if I put them in a basket and shuffled them and pulled them up, I would pull out something called, it's a creative company. They are not scared of anything. They can take this organization to box 3. Are we together? Good. So creativity out of what I said is to be spontaneous but controlled. So it's not as if creativity is haywire. It is, you know the meaning of word spontaneous? You've ever asked someone quickly and you have a question and answered, and Agnes says, actually this question says that and this and that and that. It's an answer which gives you perspective. She has not gone on Google to search it. She's spontaneous. Now, in business and in many, many interactions with customers, they like people who are authentic. To be authentic is not to be plastic. It's to be you, right? But be very well read or studied, or so that spontaneously when they ask something, you are broad-minded. You are not dealing just with the security industry, but you understand the country. You understand? Yes. So I have seen guests speak from the airport by taxis that starts to tell them about Kyagulanyi, Kizza Besigye, because this is the mind of the person. The one you have in the car may not be interested. What they want to know is, how long does it take me to get to Kasese from here? What options are there? What's the weather like in Kasese? What kind of people live in Kasese? What's the flora and fauna of Rwenzori Mountain? That's what you should be telling a guest to know the country, but you keep them in your cubicle. Or you just, Michael goes to pitch for a new customer, thanks Esther, and goes there thinking it's security guards who are armed, right? And they must be delivered at 8. It is boxed. What if the customer has never been told other security options that one could do to secure either their assets or them, or a different mode? You really need to have spontaneity, but controlled thinking, because in the end you want to turn this into customer value proposition. It has to earn some money, this idea. So am I confusing you or you are with me? Am I clear to you? It is wild, but there is structure to it. Because otherwise we can't remain wild. Right? So this person who is talking about the politics of the country, and there are many who do that, they think that's what people like to hear. He also has a plan. Maybe this is an NGO that wants to take people to America. So I must tell them about persecution in Uganda. They have a plan, but it's a very inverted plan that does not build the bigger picture. Are we together? Wrong examples, but I hope they stick. So I want to share a video with you, and I want you to be attentive. This is a chef from Barcelona. So there is an institution in France called Michelin. They are the ones who certify the best restaurants and chefs in the world. So this is like #1 chef in the world. And he comes to speak at an event, okay? And I want you to watch. He's a chef, but he's describing something that for me is pure explanation of creativity that I can utilize in security, in farming, but that's not Chef Ferran's, Adria's intent. But when I watched it, I thought, my people need to share this. So watch. I want you to give me a quick summary. But this is a very ordinary thing that we use every day. Put it in a glass and had the whole idea on how to look at water. So I need first for you to understand this, because I want to hear from you what you made of Chef Adrian. This gentleman is from the Victorian age. Queen Victoria, who was the leader of Lugard, who governed us, said, this man was born in 1819 and died at the turn of the century. The greatest thing a human soul ever does in this world is to see something and tell what it is in a plain way. There's something hidden if I stop there. How do you tell something in a plain way? Water is what? Very plain. You drink it, you pour it on the ground, you use it to cook. But he says hundreds of people can talk for one who can think. Hundreds can talk for one who can think, but thousands can think for one who can do what? Who can do that? Seeing more where people see less is powerful in terms of creativity. Are you with me? To see clearly is poetry, prophecy, and religion all in one. So Chef Adrian, who I want to return to later, simplifies the water object by bringing out what? The extraordinary. What's extraordinary? When we say extraordinary, what do we mean? It's above what? He takes that glass of water and he brings out the majestic, the prominence, the moments that we don't take or time or think about when we are drinking water or eating food. So you remember I said creativity is ability to see more where people do what? It is to take a simple object and turn it around and see it in a very, this is him, in a unique way. So what does he do for us? He does what? He invites us to see more in what is ordinary. But I think I just want to stop here. What did Chef Adrian teach you about creativity? Let me have 3 comments because we have less time. Who wants to go first? What do you learn from that video? If I give you an exam and say, give me the 3 key elements in creativity that you get out of this video, what would they be? So now you don't tell me that your children are more creative than you. You are supposed to be mature, wise. Huh? So that your 3, 4, 5-year-olds, they understand Chef Adrian better than you? So 3 comments. Who wants to go first? Yes, Michael.
I think it starts from the perspective, the ability to be able to take something that is so basic but give it different angles that in ordinary life we seem to be so much in a hurry. But sometimes what is so simple and yet so compelling, we don't actually capture that. Another example I used from childhood, I think I was about, S2 or 3, and this maid put salt instead of sugar in the porridge. My mind was so excited when getting to school, so I get the porridge, with a cup, put it on my mouth, take 2 sips. So my dad comes, he puts the cup on the mouth and immediately takes. It's like, what is this you take? You mean you cannot actually tell that this is not sugar, but I've actually put salt in the porridge. So it actually shows you that you could even take poison without noticing, because you're not picking out the things you need to pick out. You're so much in a hurry and you don't take it into account.
So there are moments that are so powerful, they present themselves to us like someone talking to you, but you never capture those moments because you are moving on to the next. There are points of intersection in your life or in GM that have tried to speak loudly to you that this is the point at which you could pivot or do something different with this service, but you have no ears and no time and no eyes to see. Are we together? This is what Michael is saying. You could take poison, but you are just, I'm going to school, or I am hungry. See, the story of Isaac and Jacob. What the heck with the birthright? Just give me the soup, man. Further down the road, someone has taken your birthright. Because you are focused on, I'm famished. If you read that story in the Bible, I'm hungry. All I need is fill my stomach. I don't care what happens next. That's not creativity. That's not living in the moment. That's not exercising restraint. That's not growing. I said 3. Who's the second one? What is your reading of Chef Adrian's? Yes. Is it? Yeah.
It's to do with observing the small details of everything and not taking them for granted.
Observation.
Yes, because it's what will lead you to the next step in order to get the results which you're looking for.
So you are here, right? This, what people think is plain, is not plain. Huh? This statement is very deep, it's very philosophical. The soul, the world, something you can tell in a what? Many things are not that plain. You must observe more. You must listen more. So I was on an aircraft with some government official many years ago, an older person. And we had hardly taken off from, I think it was Abuja, and the cockpit announcement was not clear, and I had a book I was reading and marking. The pilot said, we have had a problem. We have to circle back and return to Abuja. We will tell you the next course of action. I am reading a book. I am not hearing anything. This old man says, have you heard? I said, what? He said, we are turning. We're going back. Aircraft has a problem. You know how you feel? So this old man is what? Attentive. So age does not mean no creativity. So don't think that the 25-year-olds are the smartest in the world. Eh? No, you'll get 70-year-olds who are creating things they are very active. You know the story of KFC? Has anyone told you about that? Colonel Sanders, yeah? There's something when he created the recipe that gave KFC. But he had been an army officer, tried so many times. So for me, that moment, I'll never forget it. And that man is old now and well, he's in town. But on that day, he saw these young people, he's just buried in his book. Today, I criticize, these young people, they are buried in their phones. Well, I was also buried in my book. Every generation has its battles. Eh? But I still prefer the battle of the face is in the book, not Facebook. The face is reading. Today's battles are Facebook. Huh? Okay? Anyway, so what you are telling us is that observation is important. And for me, I like this. I actually thought that thinking, I still do. Thinking is profound. We need to get more thinkers. But this man is saying that if you can think, only hundreds will be able to take your word. But if you can think and also do what? See. Thousands will take your message. So we must combine these elements, thinking and observation. Huh? Okay? I need the third one. The third? Or have these two gentlemen spoken for? Yes, Agnes?
Okay. When I observed him, the way he first looked at the glass of water, smelled it, tasted it, I think there's element of experimenting it, and there's a bit of imagination beyond what he's seeing, and what impact can it have. I think for me that is what, and because of that, he realized that water is not just plain, but has an impact on human life. And that's now has been perceived as life is, water is life. Much as it's tasteless, it's colorless, it has no sense. That's what I was trying to see.
So he takes what is very ordinary and uses deeper eyes and deeper thinking, and he makes extraordinary lessons for us. It's not just water, it's much more. It's not just life. People actually die, fight for it. Huh? But we pour water every day off our roofs. We don't care. So the chef tells us, see more. That's why these chefs, I don't know if you've been in restaurants where the food is brought on a plate as if it's designed, right? Like someone dressed nicely to attract you. They have thought through presentation. So it's not the cooking of the food, the healthy benefits. It's also the presentation of service. So if a plate can appeal to your senses and whet your appetite, and someone has gone in the kitchen and designed, you should, if you go back in the kitchen, they wear gloves, they place one thing slowly, and the way they bring the plate, and every culture does differently. The Chinese will go, or the Malaysians, they will go and prepare the meat. At the top of it sizzling, they will bring it like it's being cooked on the road. Eh? And you feel like, oh, this, I just want to have it right away. It's all what? Creativity. So you think about it. If a restaurant does that, how about a service company like GM? Shouldn't you be intentional how you dress, how you present your men and women? Should we not think through how we meet customers and how we present ourselves? If a restaurant, I go to a restaurant because I'm hungry, I want to eat and go, or I just want to meet someone over a cup of coffee, but someone is thinking about how to present it to me. You should be creative about how you present your service. Huh? Did anyone else? Did I leave out anyone? Data? Yes.
If I got something, I think he's detailed in whatever that he's looking at. So being so detailed in whatever idea you're coming up with will make more sense.
Good. So creativity is about being detailed. Huh? Is stepping from the shallow waters deep, where nobody is going. Huh? Good. So let me summarize my own reading. He invites us to see more. Mike, I think, said this. He invites us also to do what? Slow down. Slow down. Don't take these moments for granted. Eh? So I think it's last week. I had back-to-back meetings. I think it's when you came. Anyway, I've been like that lately at Plot 13. And then in that huge being busy, Jen, a book. A book is a daughter of a friend of mine who passed away, who used to be an ambassador to Russia. Jen just showed up with her daughter Nicole. I last saw Nicole when she was 5. She's now 13. She's a big girl. So she said, I want to see you. I want to see you. Jen is outside. So when I say come, so something in me said, stop. Talk to this 13-year-old. This moment may never come back. You don't know why that mother has come with her, right? She's a single mother. Do you see all these thoughts are now running in my mind? Oh, okay. So Nicole, let me tell you 3 things about life, right? That for me was what? Slow down your day. This is life. This is more important. Eh? Now, I don't know when I will see Nicole again. Maybe she'll be married. Do you think Nicole will forget that moment? Do you think someone will tell Nicole that Audrey is a bad man and she believes it? Do you think I was trying to convince Nicole that I'm a good person? It was more to do with me and my heavy day and seeing a moment differently. That's how you should see customers. If a customer has called you or has complained, don't say, na yo. Nebo muletera kino addamu na kino. Bano omusajja ono. Yeetaaga lwabwogo yekka. Well, that's a difficult customer, but they are crying out for attention. They are better than the one who goes silent and hands over the business to another person. So slow down, slow down. That's what this chef is telling us. Be thankful of what? So Christians and all major religions, they thank God for the day. I thank God that I'm here today. Huh? Because every passing minute, 60 human beings die. You go and see the worldometer. But I think some 300 are being born every minute. So the rate of death is 30% the rate of birth. So you think those who have died don't want more life in the world? Huh? So be thankful of the little things of life. Do I have a daughter? Do I have a son? Do I have a good relationship? Do I have a loving father? Well, thank for those things because they are not obvious for many people. Do I have a job? Does it pay me little? Yes, but do I wake up going to solve something? Some people wake up thinking, suppose this were my end, I will be okay. I'm tired of life. If you're not thankful for small things, you will not see much in water. You will waste things in life. You will think, I'm waiting for the big thing. You don't take care of what you have today. Right? The rush. The mundane. You know mundane? The things of life that grow on you and you no longer feel. It's like if someone has been doing this for the whole day. You can sleep even when he's doing this because you are now used to that sound. Huh? But another person showing up said, hey. For you, you no longer hear this. Huh? Am I talking about things you know? Huh? So, again, neighbor friend of mine, he died 70. My father used to call him his son. So he lost his first wife. He married a second wife. They divorced. So I told him, don't marry again. You are now 67. What? You have old children. It's all right. He said, Audrey, you just help me. I want to get married because I don't want to run with young people. Oh, okay. All right. Of course, if someone tells you that, you say, I'll support you. So supported him. Gets married. Anyway, so he marries. But he marries this person who is 30 years younger. So the person wants attention. The old man is reflective. He wants to be alone, okay? So it's okay. I don't know what's happening. So suddenly he shows up Christmas time. I said, Audrey, I want to talk to you personally, like privately. So walk with him in the garden. I said, what is it? He said, I want you to buy me a car. Car? I said, what do you want with a car? 73 years old. It's okay. Church is there. It's good for your legs to walk there. Car is fuel problems. Car is mechanics. Now me, I started on the side of helping him. He said, you're not listening to me, son. I said, what is it? I said, I need a car. So when she starts quarreling, I go to the Antonde, I leave her. That was a summary like, this man is under pressure, like depressed. She thought she married someone to be happy, but so the only reason he wanted a car was to disappear when there is a quarrel. It is called coping measures about home tension. Anyway, so for me, I think that the rush, the mundane things of life, this chef tells us, slow down. There are some things hidden there. The tension. Where did you see the tension in that video? The glass, the water, the moment. That's creative tension. I'm letting my mind, you know what, bring out, you want to talk about food? No, let me first tell you something else. It's creative tension. Now, creative tension is very nice because it forces the mind to think more and broader about small things.